All right, perfect. Looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Um, Happy Monday. Hope everyone has a great start to your week. I see 3 people here watching us live. If you're here live, say hello, drop us a like in the comments. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Brittany. I'm a holistic nutritionist and one of the admins of this group. And I am super excited to bring to you again a dear friend and transformational coach, Jill Batista. And she is going to be here and she is going to talk about sleep. And then we're going to talk about her upcoming event that is going to help you sleep better. Sleep is something we all struggle with, right? So, Jill, hello. Thank you so much for taking your time to come and speak with us today.
Absolutely, Brittany. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come and speak to the group. And thank you for all that you do for me.
Awesome. Yeah, you are a very dear friend of mine, and you've helped me in ways I can't even describe. So I'm super happy to bring you in here so that you can serve, right? And help all these other people, because I know sleep is such a struggle for so many. So let's talk a little bit first, kind of about who you are and what you do, and then we'll get into some sleep strategy tips and stuff like that. And then we'll talk about your event.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Tell us about yourself, Jill.
So I'm a transformational coach, and I help my clients to illuminate the blocks and stuck places in their life so that they can become aware of the story that they tell themselves, the things that are keeping them from living the life that they really desire. And whether it be career or relationship issues, I feel like I can help them by discovering these blocks in their belief systems, in their subconscious minds, and in their patterning, and help them to write a new story for themselves and create a new life that they would really prefer to be in. We do this through individual coaching and healing sessions, and I'm primarily online now.
That is awesome. All right, let's get into sleep. So, what are some issues, maybe some reasons that people don't get good sleep?
Yeah, there's lots of things that go into it. And I think in 2020, that was when I really started to recognize how much what we do all day long can either set us up for great sleep or really deteriorate our ability to sleep. And so there's lots of things that uh, people say, turn off your computers a couple hours before you go to sleep, turn off your phones. And a lot of us need our phones for alarm clocks, for our nighttime bedtime routines and things like that. So I've just come up with some strategies that help it to be a little bit more reasonable for people to be able to still do the things that they need to do, but also create a bedtime routine that's going to help them to really wind down and prepare themselves for the best rest that they can get.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, because I need my phone, right? Like, and I know that it's really bad. And ultimately, eventually I do want to not have my phone charging in my room. And I do try to like get off of it at a certain time of night so that I can, start to rest my eyes. Things like blue light blockers have helped me. But yeah, it's for so many of us, I need my alarm. I need my alarm and I need my phone in my room. And that does create some issues sometimes because I have to catch myself.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get off social media. It is too late. This is what you tell other people to do. You have to live by example, and put it away. So I'm glad that you have developed some strategies that really kind of meet people where they're at, because it's not realistic, right? Not everybody is going to listen to, being able to put your phone in the other room or to do all these other, things and turn off the Wi-Fi and don't have TV on and dim the lights. And, like for a lot of people, it's just in the world that we live in. It's maybe we'll get there eventually, right? But it's unrealistic to just make that change so quickly. But once you start to kind of realize that, hey, these little changes have made such an impact, maybe I will start to charge my phone in the other room, get a different way to set an alarm and things like that.
For sure. And, another thing that I guess presented itself in 2020 for me was my father becoming ill, and his health, up until 2020, he was Superman. He was somebody that I considered, super vital and healthy for his age, always really young and youthful. And then he was hit with a health crisis that required, emergency surgery, and it really weighed a lot on his mind. And I saw him going kind of down this downhill spiral. You need really great sleep, especially when you're healing from surgery. And he could not stop the racing thoughts, the worried thoughts. They were just on this roller coaster ride for him. And when he complained about it to me one night, I said, "Gosh, Dad, I really want to help you because you need sleep in order to heal and recover from this surgery." So I gave him the suggestions that I'm going to give in this workshop. And we acquired a bedtime routine. We used essential oils for helping him to kind of set the mood and allow himself to relax and calm down and get to a place of homeostasis. And then, of course, we did some habits regarding, the lights, the phones, the charging, the Wi-Fi, all that stuff, of course. But what really helped him, besides creating the new routine, besides giving him some interrupters of thought, I gave him a guided meditation to help him to listen to before he went to sleep. And that was the real game changer for him.
Yeah, I can attest to your guided meditations. You've created 3 ones for me, and I listen to them almost daily. And they're very relaxing. I get to hear my good friend Jill's voice in my ears all the time. So it's awesome. All right, so hey guys, if you're here, if you have any questions about sleep, or if there's any particular issues that you're struggling with in terms of sleep, drop it down in the comments, and we can, interact here, and we can, help you come up with some solutions. But for now, what are some strategies, Jill? So you talked a little bit about what you did with your dad, right? So how can people create this good bedtime routine? What are some of the tools that they can use to get more of a routine going, so that they can get better sleep?
Yeah, sure. So we'll go over more of this in depthly in the workshop on Wednesday. But there are essential oils that I use that are, the most pure therapeutic grade oils that you can get on the market. And what they do when you just inhale them is they start to communicate with your olfactory nervous system. And within moments, there's a change in your neural pathway. There's a response in the physical body. There's a sensation of calmness. There's a feeling of relaxation. And so for me, I can't even begin to get into bed without getting my oils out.
I am the same way. Can you give us a couple? What are some of your favorite oils for sleep?
So one of the favorite oils is lavender. I mean, everybody talks about lavender, and it's in every home care product you can possibly buy nowadays. But the lavender that I use is pure tested grade level lavender. It's the only thing that's in the bottle is the essential oil of lavender, nothing else added or deleted from this plant medicine. Yeah. And it is a medicine. It is for anything that needs to be calmed or soothed. So you can imagine, we're going to talk about little kids and their sleep, because let's not leave that out of the equation, right? Some of the times it's the kids that are keeping the adults up. So what I do with kids, parents that have little kids especially, this is super helpful, is you just take a little bit of the lavender and you just drop it on their little toes. Rub it into the tips of their little toes right before bed, maybe on their earlobes. Let them smell it. Getting it on their body after they smell it, it's going to be within their entire system within about 20 minutes. So talk about nap in a bottle.
That's awesome. I was unaware. And I know that I've been over to your house, and we both have little dogs that like to bark a lot, right? Especially when there's company. And sometimes that can be a little embarrassing, frustrating, right? But some of these oils you can use on your pets too.
Yes, you can use lavender on your pets. You can tip their ears. You just put a teeny drop on your fingertips, rub it in, and then put it on the tips of their ears. They'll smell it because they're so sensitive. Their noses are so sensitive. They will smell the oil just by having it in the air. But then to have it on their ears, again, it's going to be throughout their system within about 20 minutes. So it's like a natural way of helping your body to prepare for sleep.
That is awesome. I love being able to utilize that for the
Yeah.
dogs too, because I'm always having to apologize to people on these calls and these lives because my dogs are always barking.
Oh my goodness.
That's definitely something that I need to start utilizing more. So, other essential oils, Joe. What do we have besides lavender? I know lavender is like a really popular one. What else helps with sleep?
I think my favorite one, and it goes well with lavender, it also goes well with other oils, is vetiver. And it's spelled Vetiver. And it's made from a grass that ours comes from Haiti. And these farmers pull up the roots and they steam distill the roots of the grass, and it makes this beautiful rich oil. And now it comes in like a roller ball form, so you can literally just roll it on your wrists and smell it, roll it all over your ears, your toes, your pillow, wherever you want it, and it will just help you to drift off into sleep. Another thing I wanted to mention is bath time routine. When we were little, oftentimes it was bath and teeth and then bed, the little bedtime routine. Well, where did ours go? Where's our bubble bath at night? Where's our, bedtime story, right? So I always start my bedtime routine with a bath. I think it is something that's essential to me now. And I know not everybody has a bathtub, so there's ways around that. We'll talk about that in the workshop as well. But to do something that's really soothing and unwinding, like getting into water, is so healing. I just feel like my whole day is being washed off every night when I do that for myself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I used to have that habit of like winding down. I mean, I have a different bedtime routine, but I don't have a bathtub, right?
Yeah.
So I'm one of those people. So definitely looking forward to hearing some strategies on Wednesday about how to get around that. I miss being able to like sit and relax. It is very relaxing. So if you have a bathtub, you realize that, right?
Yeah, better get in it.
I do make some, and I know we're both kind of into this. I make some like bath salts, right? And I use some of the amazing essential oils that we love, and with some Epsom salt and maybe little pieces of lavender, rose putty floating in like this beautiful, nice, calming, relaxing thing. Now I can only use those to soak my feet because I don't have the bathtub anymore. But
Yeah.
definitely helpful to get some sleep as well. So what else? What other strategies do we have, Joe?
Well, and the guided meditation, I think that that's the key, right? Is when I was little, I don't know about you, but bedtime stories, bedtime songs, things like that were really helpful. And I know with my children, I enjoyed giving that time at the end of the night, just me and them, to help them to get to sleep. And so when you think about us as adults, we just kind of pass out with our Netflix playing in the background most of the time. So why not give yourself something more nourishing to be put into this beautiful brain of yours right before you go to bed? Why not something like a guided meditation for sleep?
Absolutely, absolutely. We got one question here from Crystal. She says, "Great live. Question about putting the lavender on my children.
Sure.
My daughter and son both either touch or eat their toes or grab their ears. Yes, many like little children definitely do that. Is there any danger with ingesting it if they touch the lavender and then put their hands or feet in their mouth?"
That's a fantastic question, Crystal, and thank you for asking it. So again, we're just kind of glazing over the information today because there's so much more that I'll deliver on Wednesday. But I feel like quality of your oil is absolutely paramount. Essential oils are $1 million business, and everybody wants their piece of the pie. You can't even go to Walmart anymore, or CVS, Walgreens, without seeing lavender essential oil on the shelf for $5, $2, $1.99. I'm telling you right now, there is no lavender in that bottle. Okay. Those are fragrances. Those are mostly toxic synthetic fragrances at that. Those oils are best used not on your body.
Right.
I don't have them in my home. I don't have them in my life. So I don't know what people should use those for. But what I will tell you is, and there are a couple brands out there, but there's one that I'm really, really partial to. And that particular brand is doTERRA. And there are a few others that, you know, also have quality oils as well. But when I'm speaking about the oils in the group, I will specifically be talking about doTERRA oils. If you don't have a way of getting them, I can help you after the meeting. And for those that are going to attend, you're going to be offered an opportunity to receive some of these beautiful sleep oils for free. So I'm going to make sure that you guys walk away with some samples of those oils. So when it comes to lavender specifically with kids, you do not have to dilute. It is one of the oils that you can apply what they call neat, which is directly onto the skin. And our lavender happens to be digestible. So if they do get it in their mouth, they're not going to like the taste of it because it's very potent. They probably won't do it again, but it will not harm them.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Crystal, just the quality of the oils there is going to make the biggest difference. And me and Jill both, you know, love doTERRA. We've both been, I've used doTERRA for years. I know that Jill does as well. So if you have any questions about that, we'd be more than happy to answer. And there are some other, you know, really quality brands out there. I just was introduced to doTERRA first. I've fell in love with their products. So that's, you know, that's what I use. And I know, right, that I'm getting good quality stuff, even though it is a little higher price, especially with some of that stuff, you know, that you find at the store or anything like that, but you're paying for quality. And so that's really important. So definitely. Thank you so much for that answer, Jill.
Absolutely. And when you buy these oils, you don't want to buy them from Amazon. You want to buy them directly from the company, and you want to work with someone like myself who knows how to help you get them for the best price, because otherwise you are risking ordering something that you don't know what's really in the bottle unless it's coming direct from the company.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I noticed that with some supplement brands and stuff as well. They'll have them on Amazon and you have no clue what you're, because they're not supposed to be listed on Amazon. So you don't even know if that's what you're getting or anything like that. So yeah, Crystal said, thank you.
Sure, absolutely. And I teach free classes all the time on oils. So for the deeper dives on oils, there will be an opportunity for people to sign up for my next online essential oil basics class too. But this workshop is going to be more about the guided meditation and allowing that to be part of your nighttime routine so that you can help to unwind and create new neural pathways, new habits for sleep.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us a little bit more about how guided meditation works. Because I know some people, they're very hesitant with meditation. They're like, I've tried it, I just can't do it. My mind doesn't stay calm. You know, so tell us a little bit about what this is and then how it can help them and how it kind of rewires the brain.
Sure. So guided meditation, the way that I've studied it is through theta healing. And theta healing is a trademarked certification program that I studied. And I also studied Nam yoga practice. And both of these techniques rely on a theta brainwave state so that you can get into a very relaxed state. In hypnotherapy, they call it the suggestive state, the state of mind where you can actually start to reprogram the subconscious mind. So you do about 90% of the activities that you do every single day, they're on autopilot. When you think about your routine just for the morning, from the time you wake up to the time that maybe lunchtime happens, most of us have a routine that continues to drive us each day, and we can do it with our eyes closed and our hands behind our back. So the subconscious mind is literally like the brain's computer. It is the hard drive. It is where all the memory is stored, all your experiences, all the things that you think about, the habitual stuff that you do, the autonomic nervous system activities are all coming from this place of automated system operation. And so what I have found is people that have a hard time sleeping, there's something that's happened. There's either an event, something that's on their mind. Perhaps they're taking a new medication. Perhaps something really tragic has happened or upsetting has happened in their life, and it's kind of thrown them off course a little bit. And so what I find that when you get to your guided meditation, you get into a theta brainwave, which is a relaxed state of mind. It's just before you go to sleep. It's not quite asleep. You're still able to listen. You're still able to process information. You're just very, very relaxed. So I'll talk you through a point where you will become very, very relaxed. You'll feel really good. It'll feel very light and very calm in your body. And then we'll begin to provide what I call downloads. And this is information that is new that we are introducing to your brain. And it may or may not be fact for you right now. I may say something to you like, I know how to relax my body. I know what it feels like to be relaxed in my body. And maybe you don't. Maybe you've forgotten. Maybe it's been so long that you don't even recognize what it feels like to be relaxed anymore. So we're literally planting seeds of thought in the subconscious mind at this level of relaxation, where we can begin to align for that in our lives and see more evidence of that in our day-to-day life. And eventually it will help you to get that sleep that you're really needing, and it'll help and bring benefit to all areas of your life and your overall vitality and memory, all the things.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for explaining that, Jill. And I just want to share a little bit about my experience working with you and getting some of those meditations. And, I met Jill about 2 years ago. We started working together maybe like a year and a half ago. I've done a lot of the theta healing with her, getting rid of like a lot of junk from my childhood, a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff. And these guided meditations really helped. I mean, I was struggling initially with worthiness and self-love, and even like, can I even run a business? Can I even like help and serve others? Who am I to do this? And, and I know a lot of other people struggle with that as well. And just listening to the self-love meditation that she created for me and having those downloads, like really like it changed my brain, because then on our next session, she would have me muscle test. Am I still having those negative thoughts? And boom, I was not. And that was because of those downloads and like literally like changing my brain. And I still listen to her meditations several times a week. And we've done them for multiple, things. And that self-love was like where we first started, right? Because that was where I was struggling the most and where I needed the most help in that moment. But all of the other ones that have come, I mean, really have helped. And I've noticed just the changes, and it rewires your brain and makes you think a different way. I mean, like talk about, subliminal messages, right? And like things that, enter our, but this is that, but beneficial, right? Like,
well, and it's deliberate. It's deliberate. It's consensual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's what you want. It's less of what you don't want. It's more of what you do want. And I will thank you for sharing that. I wanted to touch base on what you just said, though. It was so profound. So when you are in this place of not feeling worthy, not feeling compassion and love for yourself, people tend to be really hard on themselves. Okay. And when I work a lot with entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs' brains do not stop. We're always thinking about the next thing, the next idea, the next concept, the next hustle, the next lead magnet, whatever it is that's on our brains. And we take that all the way to our pillow at night, And so to begin to really kind of unwind all of that, letting ourselves off the hook when we're feeling like we're not good enough, we're not doing enough, there's 10 more things on our to-do list and it's now time to go to bed. Like this is all about just setting that stage for that kind of grace and that kind of compassion for ourselves so that we can refuel, restore, and regenerate as we, create that vitality for ourselves in our sleep. It's so important.
I love that. That is so awesome. And it really is. And I definitely understand that of laying down sometimes, and my brain is like, oh, I forgot to email that person, and oh, in the morning I have that meeting and I have to do this and I have to do, and all of these things, and it can be very difficult. And so these strategies definitely help. So tell us a little bit. Okay, so first of all, tell us when your event is, and then what all is going to be covered and what people are going to get when they attend.
Okay, so the evening of Wednesday, the 15th, so in this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be on Zoom, and I'll put the link in the chat. We will gather in our Zoom room. It'll be, 45 minutes or so. It won't be all night long. We'll talk about what's keeping you up at night. We might take some, depending on how many people are there. If there's 5 people there, you got me all to yourself. I might as well find out what's keeping you up at night, right? So we'll have a little Q&A about what's keeping you up at night. Then I will impart some of my strategies and sleep routines for you to do experience, and we will have a live guided meditation experience where you get to live experience what you will also get in a recording when you attend, when you confirm your seat. You will also be gifted the MP3 version of this guided meditation that's already been recorded for you, free of interruption. And you can listen to that every night for the rest of your life. It is yours to keep. We will go over different techniques for getting your brain to quiet down and unwind. And then for those of you who schedule a free consultation call, at the end, you want a little bit of a deeper dive or more of a one-on-one experience, I offer a free 15-minute complimentary intuitive wellness consultation. And in that consultation, we'll dive a little bit deeper into your particular needs and your goals. And you will also receive sample oils of the sleep oils that I'll discuss in the meditation, along with a little book for you to learn how to use your oil safely. And hopefully you'll be well on your way to the best sleep of your life.
That is awesome. I cannot wait for this, Jill. And if you are excited about this, we got a couple people watching. Let me know in the chat box if you think that this could benefit you and you want better sleep. I know so many of us struggle so much. And what this whole thing is free, right? This event, everything is free. Oh my gosh, like that is so amazing. You guys, if you're struggling with sleep, do something about it, right? Learn some strategies, get to the root of your issue, try out something different, try these meditations, try these downloads. Like I'm telling you from personal experience, holy moly, they really work. They're super beneficial. Like I said, I mean, we started working together a year and a half ago. I'm still listening to some of the things that she has made for me because I do find them so beneficial. So you get this meditation for free that you can listen to every night before bed for the rest of your life if you want. And I promise you, you will want to listen to it. She's got the best, like most soothing voice. Like I hear it all the time and I love it. But,
thank you.
You guys, like seriously, if you are ready for good sleep, if you are tired of struggling, not getting enough sleep and you kind of know what to do. I mean, we all know the things, all right, create a nighttime routine, but it's really hard, right? It's really hard with life and with all these other things going on. But even just having something like this meditation and being like, okay, I'm going to listen to this meditation before bed, that can get you started, right? And then maybe you can move on and have some of these other, build on some of these other healthy habits as well. Then incorporating the oils. I diffuse oils every night before bed. Lavender is one of my favorites to diffuse at night. Vetiver, like you mentioned, I like Roman chamomile. Cypress is another one that I feel helps me sleep really well. I don't know if it's like the woodsy smell in the cypress, but it's very calming. And that one I usually get really good sleep with as well. So, get the meditation, go to the event, get the meditation, and then you can start seeing and implementing all these other strategies because, I will tell you guys, sleep is the number one thing that people need to heal their bodies. If you are any type of illness, if you're struggling with gut health, autoimmune disease, any type of chronic disease, your body needs sleep in order to properly heal. If you are not getting adequate sleep, your body is not able to repair. That's when it repairs everything, all our tissues, all our muscles. That's when it like clears out old cells and stuff, is while we're sleeping. So getting good, adequate sleep is critical in any healing process. And it's still something that I work on. You know, I wish that I could have great sleep every night. I don't have little kids anymore, but I have 2 little dogs that like to wake me up in the middle of the night. You know,
Yes.
so that sometimes can be a struggle. This morning it was like 2:30 and I had to get up and let them out. And but you know, there are still things. And now though, because I have tools and I have this full nighttime routine, if I do have to get up, I'm not up for another hour and a half, right? Just like laying in bed, trying not being able to sleep. I'm able to fall back asleep quickly because I've implemented all of these, you know, strategies and things like that. So
Yes.
join the live, guys. Join her event. It's going to be super amazing. Reach out to her. I'll make sure that we have everything downloaded in the comments. If you watch the replay, drop us a hashtag replay. We'll have her event linked down below. And if you want to schedule something with her, I'll make sure she's tagged too as soon as this is done streaming. And you can just send her a DM and, you know, get a call booked. If you're like, all right, I'm in. I'm in. You know, book a call with her, book that complimentary call, and see how this stuff can literally, I mean, this is why she's a transformational coach. It transforms your life, you guys. Like, it has transformed my life like you would not believe. Like, she is so beneficial and she really is a true healer. And I just thank you so, so much, Jill, for coming on here, sharing your gifts with us, sharing your knowledge with us. Is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
Thank you so much, Brittany, for this opportunity. Thank you for all your wonderful testimonials. You know, just when I think about what it is that why I'm doing this for free, why I'm giving this away, is because I feel like everyone deserves a wonderful night's sleep. And the more well-rested individuals we have out there, the more I think peacefulness and happiness and just better people will be out there in the world. So I'm just doing my part, helping people to get their best night's sleep so that I can live in a nice, safe, happy world.
Right. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. I know that if I don't get enough sleep, I am not the nicest person the next day. So everybody should just take a nap. We should mandatory nap time across the globe.
Yes. Siesta time.
Lavender essential oils, and everybody naps for an hour in the afternoon. And then, you know, everybody would just be so much better off and we'd all be happier.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you so much, Trisha. Tisha here says, thank you, Jill,
My pleasure.
for doing this. So yeah, we'll drop that stuff in the comments and sign up for her sleep class. Get your own free copy of a sleep meditation. You're gonna love it. You will get the best sleep ever. Thanks guys so much. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Again, thank you so much, Jill, for coming back and talking to us. We will have to have you on again.
Thank you. I look forward to it, Brittany. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.